The window mask set comes with two options. One is this version with a sanded down dome to replicate the Greg Jean version of the K7 space station from Trials and Tribulations. And I'm going to start with that. You get a set of window masks, 1 by 2 millimeters. Simply pop them off the sheet. I like to use the knife, place it, press down. Now make sure that this has been washed and your hands have been washed, because you want to keep finger oils to a minimum to make sure these stick properly. Put them in place, just like that, and then repeat the process. The second set of masks is designed for use if you don't want to sand off all the detail. They're designed to fit into the individual squares that are already molded into the domes. Same process though. Use your knife, remove the mask from the sheet, apply it to the individual dome. As before, make sure the piece is washed, make sure your hands are washed, because finger oils will affect the ability for these to bond and will cause you troubles when it comes to removing them after paint is applied. Once you've installed the masks of your preference, you're still going to want to light block and then base coat the domes. Here I've already removed the masks, and as you can see from the one to the left, there's a little bit of glue residue. Hey, it's me in the edit. I reached out to Jerry to talk about the residue issue, and he brought up a couple things that it could be, and it's most likely due to me using the heat gun to speed up the process of gluing the paint, which I tend to do as a matter of course. But the issue is, once you heat it up, it actually causes the glue to want to separate from the backing. First step is I've went back and re-sanded this other dome, got it smoothed out, and we're going to do the whole process again the slow way. Make sure you've washed this with soapy water and make sure your hands are clean so you don't have any finger oil residue on it. Then we're going to go back and not use that and going to do the process of installing the window masks. Alright, we're going to go back to the start and get your knife edge just under the mask, lift it up, take a look at that. It's a pretty small mask, so it's like 1 millimeter by 2 millimeter, and go ahead and drop that on, get it positioned, and you're going to want to press it down and make sure you have a good, very, very good bond, and then we're going to go and do a series of the rest of them. Jumping ahead, I have applied several light coats of Stynylrez black primer, and it turns out these did really good at paint blocking, but light coats sprayed at a 90-degree angle to the masks. If you're up or above or to the side, it could cause peeling and paint bleed, Moment of truth, I'm going to lift a couple off and see how we did. Knife under the edge, tweezers to pull the mask off, And just a separate note, I didn't leave this overnight. I did these multiple coats in the course of a couple hours, and I'm taking these masks right off. So let's go ahead and do a few more. We'll pop those off. And that's looking pretty clean already. I'm actually very much happier with that than the previous attempt. A few more. Knife already under the edge to lift them up, and tweezers to pull them off. This is truly a fantastic result. So that is definitely what happened. I used the heat gun, which I shouldn't have used, and I may have left the paint sit too long. So this is very happy with this. This is the correct way to do it. But this is also an opportunity to show what can happen if you don't have proper instructions or knowledge to get the best result from your part. And that's a really nice glow. Very, very happy with that. Back to the original result. This turned out okay at best, but this is the result of not having the proper procedure in place. Now I'm going to leave these on here because it's my own personal model, but I would do the other procedure for every new one. I had the same trouble with this one, with getting the masks off with leaving residue or pulling paint off, because I didn't use the proper procedure. So do not use a heat gun. I cannot stress that enough. As you can see, this one didn't turn out great, but I also want to say I prefer the sand method and using the smaller ones to replicate the Greg Jean model.